And since we established that that is the lighting, that might also be the column pattern on the outside, because this, you see this flat wall's not that cool. We're gonna have a series of columns on the outside, just to give it a bit of texture, give the wall a bit of a rhythm, right? And we might as well keep it on the same pattern as the lights. So it's 12 per floor per wing, which means I need another 36 for the other 3. Right. Let's go ahead and $36. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Right, and in theory we can remove all of those. Alright, and it's nighttime, so we can see how this looks at night. Kinda dark. It's a little bit dim. It's a little bit dim, not too bad though. And I don't want to like have a lot of lights down here or anything, so that will have to do. I did pick up everything, right? Just double check. Because the lag, I'm not sure if I picked up all my torches again. Alright, looks like I did. And then upper floor. 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. How is this? Redo all the signs, moving them up so you can have the lights on the bottom row rather than the top. Yes, good idea. And while we're at it, we might as well like move the whole museum 1 block that way. Just like move the whole museum 1 block to the left, and then it'll be perfect. How long did it take to write all this stuff? I think it took me like 4 hours. Maybe less than that. It felt like 4 hours. Maybe it was less. It was probably less than that. But it's not just the time, it's the focus, because you're like typing specific words, trying not to spell anything wrong. And I couldn't do more than like 1 wing at a time. Right, I had to like do 1 wing, take a break. Because you try to focus for too long, you start making mistakes, right? Like because you get fatigued. Alright, and then last one. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 4. How is this? What station was it that you actually did move it a block? I think there were a few of those actually, more than one. More than one station that I moved one block over. But it's different in creative, right? And it wasn't a lot of writing, it was just blocks. Oh, ambition station. And we didn't do it at the very end, we kind of did it fairly early on. Ambition station was the big one, just moved it over by a block. Howard says you're beginning to miss that playthrough. Well, not really. Huh. A spider. Where did you spawn? Oh, up there, of course. Not to say that I don't want to build more trains, but that's... This is perfectly fine. Like, I don't mind playing in survival here. For now, that is. Let me go ahead and put some temporary torches up here. I don't... Well, I guess... Because the trains are done in the other playthrough. I'm gonna have to, like, do other things. Roads. I did think that after the trains there'll be roads. Roads between all the stations as well. Survival is okay. Well, no. Survival is only okay because I've thought about this, right? And I've chosen to build this museum out of snow and pauper, for example, which are some of the least labor-intensive materials to acquire, snow especially. So if I was building this out of stone or wood, I would probably be sick of this very quickly. Just like spending hours and hours and hours harvesting materials. So like this is the fact that this is purple and white, it's not an accident, right? It's not even an aesthetic choice. It's me literally like trying to figure out what kind of game am I willing to play? What kind of gameplay am I willing to tolerate? Alright, so let's think about these side columns. If we say 1, 2, 3. So we're gonna have those, and then in between we have glass panes. So we do have some windows, not that they mean very much because you can't see outside from those windows. How many glass panes do I want out of this? Well, more than that probably. 32? I think I'm gonna have a lot of glass panes. 64? After I fill the museum, I've been thinking, which will take a long time. I think after I fill the museum, I'm going to try to automate as many resources as possible, just to see like how many things can we automate. Because if we can automate getting blocks, which is basically what these snow blocks are, then I'd be willing to play survival if I don't have to harvest, if I don't have to manually harvest materials, right? I'd be willing to put up with this game. So just want to see like how viable that is. Because like even if you can automate it, doesn't necessarily mean that it's viable, because it might take a long time for the automation to harvest enough stuff. So automation is one thing, speed is the other. Alright, so that's one wing. Should I put glass up there? No, it's kind of silly right now. Three, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3. We actually need more glass panes than this. I should have made more. Alright, I'm gonna end up using a lot of glass panes. Let me just bang all of it out. We can trade. Oh, I guess we don't have to automate. That's the other thing. If you can trade for the materials easily from villagers, that's also viable, right? So glass wouldn't be viable, except that you can get them from Liberian villagers for a fairly decent price. Like, it's not that expensive to get quite a lot of glass. Stuff like glowstone and lapis you can get from the priest, but you don't get very much. So we don't want to use too much of that. Unless we figure out... Well, we can always just build a bigger villager farm, I guess. Have like 20 or 30 priests. Alright, so that's the bottom floor. And then the top, what time is it? I have 4 more minutes left today. Let me go ahead and put these windows in. Two, three, 4. Oh, that's wrong. I messed that up. 2 and then 4. Two, three, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. sides, and then the other side. Um, Gonna need a lot more glass, huh? I should farm glass from the villagers as well during the week. Alright, so that's the wings. Let me look at this. And this will be glass down here. Probably glass blocks. Looking good, says Hava. Well, there's still a long way to go. So if you imagine here, there'll be another block of pauper, except it'll be pauper columns. So imagine another line like that. So it'll be like a series of verticals. Any plans for the courtyard? I have not thought about it yet. I have not thought about it yet. So that's something to think about, Hava. So on the outside, on the wings, there'll be like vertical elements. Probably like vertical elements here too, but then it might get a bit crowded here. Let me think about that during the week. Probably similar things around the semicircle. Have to figure out the spacing for those. And then the roof. And then maybe like the entrances should have a little bit of a thing in the entrance. Maybe have like a little balcony out there. And then have the entrance stick out a little bit. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just thinking about stuff. Yeah, and then after that, the roof. And then that's more or less it. And then as you say, however, the courtyard, some sort of staircase here, maybe like a bridge over to that way, but that's not too important. Okay, so time's up for this week. Before I go, let me go back to the cows. Where am I putting this stuff? Proper blocks, put those away. Put the glass away. I have too many torches. Put the trident back, let me rearrange all this stuff. Alright, and then come back here. I might farm some glass, that's not too difficult. Glass because like the semicircle, the walls, all that I think is going to be mostly glass. So I'm going to need a lot of glass basically. And then during the week I'm going to get 1,200 leather. We have 4 cows so far, we need a lot more. Hold on. I had 4 cows. Okay, there's the 4th cow. That's gonna take a long time, just waiting for the cows to grow and then breeding them. Alright, I will see you next week with a whole lot of item frames on the wings, which will exponentially increase the lag, possibly. That might be bad. Anyway, I'll see you next week. Alright, that's it for now.